continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Mia Farrow as Allison Mackenzie, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington.
During the past year, Elliot Carson has accomplished a rare adjustment to the world around him. He has returned from prison to re-enter the day-to-day life of the small town. But today, he has been pulled back to a time more than 18 years ago, when a preliminary hearing was held in Peyton Place. The defendant, Elliot Carson, was bound over and tried on a charge of murder. He was convicted and sent to prison, although he was innocent. Today, Rodney Harrington must take the first step in what could be the same ordeal.
Thank you, Mr. Carson. That's all right. Okay. Now, thank you. You're early.
Yes, I know.
The press sets behind the railing.
I just wanted to see if things had changed much.
Well, the building's new. Don't think you'll find much else different, though, Mr. Carson. Slow juries, tired judges, dull lawyers, visitors clearing their throats, kids whispering, sneezing. It's all still the same.
I suppose you still make an occasional mistake.
Me? I haven't made a mistake in 25 years.
Well, that's quite a record.
You met the court, didn't you?
That's the same table. That ink stain was there at my trial.
The table's serviceable yet. We're using most of the furniture from the old building. Saves the taxpayers money.
A large black smirch on the prosecution. I don't think I'll ever forget it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Say, you have a new gavel.
The police department gave it to us a year ago. We sold the most tickets to their spring dance. I'm supposed to keep my equipment locked.
You can trust me, Mr. Edwards.
Oh, it's just that there are some people that...
Well, I'll watch it for you.
Well, the hearing's not for half an hour yet. You sure you don't want a cup of coffee?
Why don't you get yourself a cup of coffee?
Hey, not a bad idea. Thanks, Mr. Carson.
Morning, Mr. Carson. We allowed to come in yet?
Oh, I suppose so. The hearing isn't for another half an hour or so.
How come you're here so early?
Well, I thought I'd just take a look around.
I know. I got the same urge. We're the same on a lot of things, Mr. Carson.
Oh, are we?
Sure. You're not on their side. You couldn't be.
Not on anybody's side. I'm here as a newspaper man.
You're here as an ex-convict. An innocent ex-convict.
Rodney's on trial, not Mr. Harrington.
Come on.
It's not fair to the boy to keep remembering Mr. Chernak.
Oh, what's fair? You spend 20 years in prison, I spend my life on the bottom. You call that fair?
Leslie Harrington is not on trial.
Isn't he? Last time I was here, Joey was here, too. I guess I was nervous, because he said, "Hey, Papa, stand up straight. No one's any better than you." And I did. He was just a kid, 16. Then the judge told him to get up and listen to the verdict. And he stood up, straight. He always stood up, real straight. Sent him to the honor farm that time.
He'd stolen a car, Mr. Chernak.
Maybe Maybe he wouldn't have stolen it if I had the money to buy him a car. You know why I didn't have the money?
Oh, well, it's the universal problem of women. First it was going to be the blue dress, then the yellow dress.
Well, which dress is it going to be?
Well, it's going to be the blue check dress. It's being ironed now. Mrs. Chernick? Coming. What did you expect, David? She's frightened. Freshly ironed. Oh, how nice. You are going to look very pretty. You will indeed. Thank you, Mrs. Chernick. Hey, come on, my friend. Let's get dressed. It's a shame to make a little girl go through a thing like this.
Well, it's the law. They have to know the truth.
He's gone. What good does it do to upset everybody? My Joe, even when he's dead, he still makes trouble.
She's writing, too.
Oh, David, she's just trying to preserve whatever she can of Joe's memory.
Now what? I'll get it.
I know you're in a hurry, Mr. Schuster, but, well, I have some good news.
Well, come in.
Thank you.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson.
Hello, Mrs. Schuster. Hi, Kim.
What's the good news?
Well, I thought you could both use some before you went to the hearing. You know, I really could have phoned, but I just couldn't resist. Martin Peyton called.
Wouldn't you know it, the one morning I wasn't there. What did he say?
Well, you know the old man. Curt, to the point. He makes even good news sound ominous. He said it wasn't necessary for him to talk to Mr. Schuster, but to tell Mr. Schuster to proceed with the preliminary steps without further delay.
Delay. Wouldn't you know it, even when you score a point with the old man, he winds up with the ball.
He hasn't even read the report.
I suppose Dowell gave him a general idea of it.
You don't think Mr. Dowell will send him a copy?
I hope not.
There.
Did you hear this?
Oh, yes. That's wonderful.
Well, anyway, I thought I'd better expedite matters, so I type up these letters. This is for Reeves and Sheldon in Chicago, and this is for the Davis Group, and they can have their people here in no time at all.
Good girl.
Here, sign, and away we go.
David, don't you think we'd better be going?
Why don't you and Kim wait for me in the car? This will only take a minute.
All right.
Oh, here, be my guest.
Goodbye, Mrs. Anderson.
Hi, Mr. Schuster. I guess I'd better get back to the mill, huh?
Thank you, Mrs. Addison.
Name, Hannah. Middle, initial, and all. Standard business practice. Then, dear sir, the reference to myself in today's first page report concerning a preliminary hearing in Peyton Place is an invasion of privacy. I demand a printed retraction. I prefer, sir, that this be handled without reference to our respective attorneys. If, however, you wish to make this a legal proposition, I stand ready to do so. Signed, Martin Peyton.
Yes, sir.
I'll send blind copies to the chairman of the board of each paper, plus every single member of each board of directors.
Telegrams.
Yes, call Wainwright and Kennedy. They'll dig up the names for you.
I'll get on that right away, sir.
Hannah. Hannah, how long do you think the hearing will last? What's your best guess?
Not long.
Well, you've talked to Stephen, haven't you? Surely your own son can come up with something better than not long.
I have no inside information, Mr. Peyton.
How unlike you, Hannah. Well, before you go, get me my sticks. Well, what are you waiting for?
Are you all right?
Well, I'm not going to collapse, Hannah. I feel strong today. Stronger than yesterday, stronger than the day before. I'm going to live. Long enough, anyway.
Who could doubt that?
Please, none of that. I've got a certain number of days, weeks, months. I'm going to put my house in order. I'm going to measure out my time. No wasted motion. No fussing with trivia. Business matters will continue in charge of Wainwright and Kennelly in Boston, Theodore Dowell in Peyton Place. My energy, my life, will be spent on family.
There's nothing you can do about Rodney Harrington. He's the only family that can mean anything to you now.
Ironic, isn't it? A young man I hardly know is even now exposing the name of Peyton to contempt and ridicule. My technical grandson.
You don't mean that. Why did you furnish collateral for the bail?
Because it's a name I care for. Hannah, I want you to do something for me. And I don't want any of your arguments, understand?
I understand.
Get me some whiskey.
Yes, sir.
I will not accept the end of the name. I simply will not accept it.